Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to League of Europe. This is Division 4 for round number 6 around the Marina Bay Street Circuit here in Singapore in the beautiful region of Southeast Asia. For 33 laps around this nighttime street circuit, the first ever night race in Formula One, all the way back in 2008 as these drivers take on this 5-kilometer street circuit. I am QVR Maverick. Alongside me today is QVR Verstappen, and we'll be taking you through Division 4's race tonight. Verstappen, how you doing?
Hello everyone, and indeed welcome to LOE Division 4 here. I'm back on as Packer is not here tonight. I'm doing well. Excited for this one. A very technical track. I feels like quite a challenge for this Division 4 drivers. But yeah, it'll be a long one tonight. 31 laps. 5.8 kilometers if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, definitely going to be in for a long haul. Just a note, Damon in the McLaren and Jess Gamer, they both have quality bans, so you'll be seeing them retiring quite early on, just doing a lap to save their setup.
Okay, we'll go out, perform an outlap, go into the pits, retire, and chill for the rest of this 18-minute qualifying session. Jess Gamer was the first one out of the pits, but obviously she will be retiring, so we will follow along with her Ferrari teammate Jimmy Metz as they are on this outlap. Outlaps here are tremendously long, so it's going to take a while for these drivers to get out. Usually what we'll see, or usually what happens is usually drivers will go out of the pits at 2 minutes 30 left in the session, get their last laps in. I think some of these guys will probably have to leave way earlier than that just to make sure they get around to set a lap. And traffic jams in Sector 3 going onto those laps is going to be a big issue as everyone tries to slow up, create a gap so not getting the dirty air through the street circuit. And it's such a big change from the low wings everyone was running at Monza to now almost running max wings here in Singapore to make sure that they get through these corners as fast as they can. 27 corners on this circuit. And as Jimmy Met rounds the penultimate corner, Verstappen, take it away on this hot lap.
Just going around the final double corner, he invalidates. So let's go into the next one actually. So Jess does retire there. Was going to catch on with H. Maguire, but he spun out of that final corner. So it's a great start here. Sorinchi is just about to start a lap. His teammate is hopefully just going to get out of the way there. Going down through turn 1, 2 and 3 track limits without the stewards, so careful to not extend there. So a bit of an exploit for the king of 4 now. Down into turn number 5, Sorinchi. Very nicely done actually. DRS will be open here for basically the second time, and now through the flat out king of turn number 6, coming to the end of sector 1, they retiring as well, and coming through turn number 7, difficult corner, and into 8, a very tight down to second gear on the full up, back goes the Dutchman through turn number 9. Now we get to the old and famous Singapore sling, the rear, you see that around 2012-13 I think, if I'm not too mistaken. Just a heap of corners, just very tightly going through. Now the bridge section and across the hairpin, which is very easy to lock up at if you do not use the ABS. DRS zone number 3 coming around and towards the end of sector 2 now, 105.8. We'll see how competitive that is later on. Coming through turn 14 there, turn now 15 and 16. It goes very quickly now. Curve on the left here can be quite dangerous. In 17, now down towards 18 and 19, under the grandstand we go, and quite nicely lighted as well, I have to say. 18 and 19, 20 and 21, and this is all looking fairly clean from the Dutchman, the Alpine driver, towards the final 2 corners. Careful not to invalidate, it is very easy to do. Just about keeps it within the track limits at 139.937. It's the first time on the board. Mercedes just coming in behind with T-Brum, and he's about 2 seconds quicker.
Yeah, we'll see the times. I think, let's say a low 37, I think is going to be pole position. But T-Rum, championship leader by 7 points. Still holding on to the provisional pole position as Old School comes across the line fit for him a 40.4.
Just a few minute cars. Harnoark, fairly close to T-Brum actually. Are 4th place in the standings, which T-Brum is leading himself on 67 points ahead of Conor O'Keefe on 60, then Energetics on 58 and Harnoark on 52. So that little group has broken a slight bit away from Ben Scott in 31 points. It will be quite close after that. We'll have to see who can make a step here tonight. So Energetics doesn't put in a competitive lap time. He might be trying to just warm up a little bit. He's on no ERS as of right now, so not too sure what he's on. We'll have to see. Sir Abel coming towards the end of the lap. See, maybe he can beat Energetics here actually. Not quite, I think. 145.2. We'll have to see if that catches on later. I think H. McGuire is the next one on the lap. Oh! He just broke too late, and actually, yeah, he has no front wing, so he must have lost that earlier on. I didn't see anything fall off at that point, so something must have come off earlier in the lap, and that's a bit of a shame. I'll have to go again.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of incidents with that wall. It's very easy to do. Did it just earlier today, so still trying to forget about that, worry about this. But yeah, I mean, every corner around here is easy to make a mistake. This whole beginning section, as we watch Axel go through, really easy to hook it up onto the curves, especially with how low these cars run, generating all their downforce from the floor. It's really easy to just latch onto one of those curves. And then even through the Anderson Bridge, the old Singapore Sling, those curves are pretty high. They'll grab onto the car, they'll hook you into the wall and take you out of the race for qualifying. But Axel, purple sector 1, see how true that is.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Just coming down towards this little section. It does look fairly quick so far, I have to say, from the Haas driver. Not the greatest start of the season so far, but we'll have to see. Maybe tonight will be different. Singapore does bring out a few different drivers usually to come out on top. So there might be an opportunity to line in for him. 105.6. Let's see if that's going to be any competitive. I think that was slightly quicker than Sarunja, so I'm expecting him to be maybe around. Ben Scott actually does invalidate there for turn 16, just cutting it slightly. And I'll have to just wait out again. Looking around. I think Energetic is still driving on no ERS, which kind of baffles me. Maybe he's just getting used to the track. I'm not too sure. One man that is on the lap, I think, is Swift though. Just coming down towards the old Singapore Sling, which was very interesting with those high curves, basically the cars bouncing across them. That's not the case anymore. They reprofile it, and it makes it a bit more, yeah, less exciting to me anyway to look at, but for the drivers it's probably for the best, to be honest. 106.4 does say purple middle sector, not sure how true that is. Yeah, the Williams just coming around the final sector, and you basically have 3 of the same chicanes here, which is a very interesting one. Just hooking it around the curve of turn 17, a few yellow flags in sector 1 as well, not too much going on I think. Just cars letting other cars through. Just seeing whether Sut can maybe get himself up towards, you know, around P6, 7 sort of area. The end of the lap did look quite decent there. 140.2, not quite then. P8, 2 tenths ahead of Old School.
Yeah, just Swift sneaking into the top 10. Got a whole bunch of cars going through the Anderson Bridge section as well, and through the hairpin. So we'll see how these guys all funnel through, and hopefully they can give each other just enough space for them to get their laps as T-Brum overtakes one of the AlphaTauris, and he's going to lead this, I guess you can call it a second group on their second laps. He'll lead them through and be the first one to set a second competitive lap time. Obviously still holding provisional pole by 1/10. Or 1/10, I guess I should say.
I think the next one that's going to be on the lap is Conor O'Keefe actually. So just coming through turn 2 and 3. So I did look at Seaban and Jamie Matt, but they both weren't pushing on their laps. So well, they'll have to go again, maybe go back into the pits to get a new set of tires. DRS is open for the McLaren. Let's see, this is one of the guys that can be at the top, near the top anyway. Jamie Matt, yeah, as you can see, 2 of 3. 3 turns up for Conor O'Keefe, that is promising, you have to say. To see if he can maintain that throughout the rest of the lap for turn 8. A very tight corner that, very easy to make a mistake and just clip the wall or something. Just go around. No, so Olsko has retired out of turn 5. He must have lost it on traction or something. Yeah, that's important for him, so 140.4 will be the best he can do. Let's see, Conor O'Keefe does look like he's going to improve. Just looking at this bit of oversteer there on the exit of the hairpin. DRS is open though, 105.3, almost 6 tenths up, clips the wall there on the entry though. Might cost him a little bit there for the McLaren. And down in towards 16 and 17. Let's see if he can improve.
We're going through the double bus stops, right, left, right, right, left once again. Just a very slow section that just takes a lot of time. And a lot of patience to wait on to the power. It's coming through the final corner now, up the hill. Bumps him up 1 position into the 38s.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh.
That's a quick lap and it's going to be very difficult to beat for the remainder of the session. A 136.7. That is insanely quick.
I think it might have been faster than my time.
It could have been, you know. Yeah, it's almost a second clear of Harry Noir currently, and everyone's seeing that being on their laps, and they see that purple time coming on, they'll be like, well, that's going to be a difficult one to beat anyway, but who knows, maybe there's people here still that could do it. Just looking on board with Jay Hings across the line, 138.7, half a tenth behind his teammate Ben Scott, who's going slowly for sector 1 as of right now. Yeah, I highly doubt they'll actually get beaten, honestly. Seaban is coming through the last bit of the lap. Maybe he can get anywhere close. It doesn't look like it. It's already hit 37, 38, 39. Flat there for the Alfa Romeo. Into P8 he goes.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to touch that time up at the top. I mean, if that doesn't solidify T-Room as the guy for the championship, I don't know what does, because you have to be so aggressive around this track to post a quick time. And you have to attack every single corner like it's your last. So I think T-Room's got pole in the bag, unless Harry can pull something out, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, most definitely. As I said, I don't think anyone is looking at that time and be like, oh, that'll be easy to beat. Just caught on board with Ben Scott spinning around through the Anderson Bridge there. It's a very difficult corner, very easy to lose traction with a lot of changes of direction. Very easy to just unsettle a car as the balance just shifts around. Energetic still doing this going around, is just passing one of the Williams cars, which is Ivo. Just don't know ERS he's doing it. I'm curious what he's aiming to do. Not so sure.
Maybe he's running the race strategy program. Because he's in 5 laps on these tires, so he's trying to figure out how long they can go.
Well, out of experience, I think about 6 laps. As H. McGuire has just pinned it into a wall. And I think he's stuck. No, he's just about got loose. That's his whole wing gone. He's going to come back into the pit and try again, I suppose. Trying to catch on board with anyone on the lap, but I don't think that's the case. There's a few guys who haven't set a lap yet. Usually Damon and Jess got their quali bands. Jamie Metz' time, I can't say, is very competitive. H. McGuire, Jaff, Axel, Ghost Recon, they've all not been able to It's a lap in with 3 minutes to go. It's a bit of pressure on the clock then. To see if they are able to. Energetic is not gonna really make it back round, so I'm a bit quite baffled what he's doing here. Anyways, I think Jav is just about starting his lap. Maybe he can get a time on the boards. Now down towards turn 1. And Apex decently. Through turn 2 and now through turn 3. Very difficult, complex, and very easily invalidated as well, but Jav doesn't do that himself. So he flies through turn number 5. DRS is open. Now for the King of 6. Let's see if his split time is anywhere competitive. 27.3, that is definitely decent, you have to say. I think there was a tenth of what Conor O'Keefe was doing. So there's a possibility for Jav to put it in a decent position here. Let's see if he's able to do that. Just missing apex slightly on turn 9. Still looking alright though. And now through turn number 10, it gets a bit wide actually. Flipping the right hander quite nicely. And through the left, and back right, and back left. Just braking a bit late, but getting the exit quite nicely done. Sector splits should be around the 105s, I reckon. 105.4, quite spot on then. And just going on to throttle into the last sector.
Okay, going through the double stops has invalidated. I believe that is turn 16, so a good lap turns into a no lap here for Jav, and he won't have enough time to get into the pits, get that full charge of battery, and get a fresh set of tires on. So he's got to go now, only 38%, 40 at least. That battery's not going to make it. He's going to be having almost no battery going into the third sector. So, but he's got to put a time on the board if he wants to start where he should, and that is in the midfield.
Yeah, most definitely if he so has to. I mean, the gaps are quite wide open. There's not a lot of competitive time still, I have to say. So there's definitely still a possibility to do quite well and maybe get up the grid a little bit. We'll have to see about that. Just checking who I can catch on the end of the laps. I think there's only a couple seconds remaining at 20 seconds. So it's just backing up a little bit throughout the last sector. Just trying to catch on board. I think Swip is just about starting a lap again. I think it's Axel who just went across the line. Yeah, and he goes into P9 on the 139.1. Just has to let off to let Steban through.
Oh. That's
not gone well. I don't think he caught Steban on his radar. He's just about to start a lap, and yeah, that's puts Steban out of the running for the remainder of this session. And towards the end, there's the Ripple who just crossed lines. Energetics. I don't think he was very interested in setting a competitive time. Just looking around, can T-Brum improve? No, he's invalid. He's slightly down this time as well, so that doesn't look like anything. Hodopus, 310s up. Maybe you can find a bit more for the last sector. 37.3, it's pretty decent. Puts him into P2. Jav, let's see if he got a time on the board. Yes, he does. P10 for the Alfa Romeo. And Jordan coming across the line, 38.465. Jamie Smith goes into P11 as well. Ivo is not a competitive lap. So I'm guessing we're going to have to look at Harry Noirk to maybe dethrone Polopus from P2, unless he has a lot of time in the last sector. I'll have to see about that. Just coming across the last chicane, now into the last two corners. Just about to lift off and across the line. Doesn't quite get to the half time. Doesn't improve his time. That puts a big gap between third and fourth. It's just catching aboard for Jay Hings, so he's not really improving. Sarunchi across the line goes only 10th. And Jay Hings doesn't improve. H. McQuarrie just spins across the line. Still going to get time on the boards, 41 flat. But yeah, that could have been a lot better actually. So Ghost Recon is just about struggling to get through the track, and I don't think he's going to very much improve here. Swip is coming back into the pits. Conor O'Keefe didn't improve, so that'll be it. And yeah, a really good time from T-Brum there. A low 37, which you predicted, has been beaten fair and squarely.
Yeah, I had low expectations for anybody to beat that time. I was gonna take a look at the D3 or sorry the D2 stream and see where that lap would have put him in 2 divisions up. So 36.7, 2.7. That would put him P6 right now on the grid in Division 2.
Jeez. Proving that's a very good time then, and yeah, just running through it again. T-Brum and Paul ahead of Polipus with 6 tenths. Harry Noir just the only other driver is within a second, and then Jordan is the only driver within 2 seconds. So quite a wide spread. Then Ben Scott and Jay Hinks, that's 51 thousandths between them. Not too bad for the Avatars. Then Conor O'Keefe 7th with Stephen 8th, Axel 9th. So Runji riding up the top 10. Javin 11th, Jamie Mitten 12th, Swoop 13th, Old School 14th. Then H. McGuire and Energetics in 15th and 16th, Ibo in 17th, Ghost, Raycon in 18th, and on the last row we have Via Damon and Jess Gamer, who both have quality bands, so we're starting from the back of the grid now.
I think the only thing that can beat T-Brum this race is T-Brum himself.
Maybe the weather will throw in a little bit of spice. I've not seen anything I think about rain after looking at the D4 chat. But yeah, it does look like it's going to be dry. So, I have to see if anyone can beat him, but it will be very difficult. Usually you do a medium hard threat or a hard medium here. Softs don't really last that long. It's 6 laps as I mentioned in the qualifying, but yeah, I reckon we'll see a lot of medium hards. But then again, it is D4. We'll have to see.
There is a set of wet tires currently in the Mercedes garage.
That's a good show. I'll have to
So
see. Maybe I just changed the mediums there. So yeah. Let's see. So just starting the formation lap. I have to have a look at the tires. I can get them up on the screen. And there's quite a bit of a split here. We have hards for T-Brum. A few cars on the mediums there from 2nd to 4th, and then Jay Hinks as well. So Philippus, Aaron Noir, Jordan, and Jay Hinks. Then the majority hard Swap gets disqualified from this session. Must have made contact with some car, don't know who. Someone else was disqualified. But he's a soft starter, along with Old School, Energetics, and Ibo. The Energetics would be one that should be able to get through the field quite easily then, after his mysterious qualifying strategy.
So he knows how these soft tires work, apparently.
Yeah, just gotta hope he's put on a fresh set, because otherwise the softs will be very, very useless. Yeah, let's see if T-Brum can hold on, because being on the hards, you are being a little bit vulnerable to the cars in behind. So it'll be interesting if he can hold on.
Yeah, I mean, with how much this track is dependent on traction with the bumpy street circuits, obviously the softer compounded tires are going to be far superior, but I think, at least in D3, what I saw was that everybody on the mediums by the end of lap 1 was up about 2 or 3 spots. I know myself and the person who won Division 3, I won't say it unless anybody, or just in case anybody wants to watch it later. I think by the end of lap 1 we were both up about 2 to 3 spots ahead of the guys that are on the mediums ahead of us, or on the hards ahead of us, sorry. So yeah, I think this is probably one of the more heavily imbalanced, I guess you could call it, tracks in terms of the different tire compounds. So T-Brum's gonna have to make sure that those hards are as toasty as he can get them before he sets off into turn number 1. And hopefully we'll try to keep Poles, Harry Noir, Jordan, JT behind. It's another buffer with Ben Scott on the hards, keeping the other AlphaTauri at bay, but we'll have to Love to see what happens here.
Yeah, have to see indeed. Just lining up. Give out the predictions, will you not, Maverick? For free.
Tebram, Harry, Connor O'Keefe.
Alright. It's Ben Scott rejoined. He must have lagged out at some point. Should check his car. Yeah, this ghosted, so he will actually drop back a little bit as Harry Noir didn't line up properly and has to get back a bit. No, just gonna wait for the red lights.
So 5 lights ahead of the drivers. Lights out, racing in Singapore, Poldy poles, didn't get a good start. He's going to drop in behind, and even Harry Noir going to lead that second group behind Tebram into turn number 1. Tebram leads out of turn number 3. Harry Noir gets up into second. Poldy poles drops down to third. Just one switch of position between the two. The two AlphaTauris fall in line. Ben Scott staying ahead of Jay Hins as they run down to the first DRS straight, but won't be active until lap number 3. The AlphaTauri is going to go at it. Try to be side by side in turn number 1. Axel looking up the inside of Sebastian into turn number 5. Didn't get the move done cleanly. But try as he might, is going to keep forcing himself to get past that Alfa Romeo. We have a ghosting yellow back in sector 1. And it seems like everybody has fallen into line here, and it seems like we've had a pretty clean start there.
Yeah, there's a few cars at the back a little bit around. There's a Swip around for a second. Don't know if he got any damage. Saruncha as well for turn number 1. I think Swip does actually have damage. His left end plate is gone. Saruncha doesn't have any major damage anyway. He fits the ball, and he's gonna go for a move on the Ferrari of Jess towards the outside. He's on a recovery drive up into P18 now. But yeah, Tebram out leading ahead of Harry Noir and Poltopus, which showed in qualifying the day 3 did look the quickest, but you never know in the race, it could all change around. Yeah, Tebram is still leading there.
Yeah, I think Tebram showed enough pace in qualifying that even on the hards, I think he's going to be able to hold Harry Noir at bay here, at least the medium runners. So I think that's one thing Tebram's got going for him. We just got to make sure not to use as much ERS as possible here. It is almost impossible to recover any ERS that you use. So along with the walls that are only 2-3 meters off the racing line that these guys have to worry about, they're going to have to worry about how much ERS they use. Harry Noir closing the gap just a slight bit as they run through the second sector. We'll see if he can use these medium tires to his advantage and try to take the lead away from Tebram.
Yeah, see about that. Just in the meantime, H. McGuire and Swip both had the pit, guessing both for damage as well. H. McGuire gone onto mediums and Swip onto a set of hards. And, hopefully for them, maybe safety car will happen. I don't doubt it will happen at some point. So we're just gonna wait that one out for now. Yeah, in the meantime, it's just until Freeze broken away in a little train behind the AlphaTauri. Ben Scott doesn't actually look that slow either. So sort of keeping in there. Jay Kings is actually more the one struggling to keep on the better tires. Damon and Energetics is side by side. Damon then inside and looks to be clear through actually. So Energetic on the softs has gone up a few positions, but not as much as I thought he would.
Yeah, if you start on the softs, you got to capitalize on the grip you're going to have for the first 4 laps, and then once they fall off lap 5, lap 6, you're going to want to make sure that you are ahead of the guys that you were trying to overtake. So see if Energetics can do anything. DRS enabled. We are on lap 3 now. We'll see if Harry Noir can stay within the DRS he is by 0.2. We'll see how powerful this DRS is.
He's just about out of it though. Both Tebram and Harry Noir have trained quite a lot. Poltopus is still on a good 85% of the DRS. That can play into his advantage a little bit as well. To see if the Haas can maybe try and get past the Greek in a little bit. No, he can't though. Sarunchi is going for a move on Old School. Then at turn 7, the Alpine goes past the Aston. No problems there. And he's up into 15th, just slowly making his way back into the midfield. And hoping for some points later on. I think Ironwork, he's just on the edge. He just about got the DRS for this little straight. He can stick through for the last sector, then that could provide some opportunities for him. Let's see about that though, if that's gonna be the case. A very tight and twisty section, so obviously the medium should provide a lot more grip. D-Rim is driving really well right now, as Jess is now getting past Old School as well, who's I think just making a few little mistakes here and there. He's dropped almost 3 seconds off the back of Sarunchi already within a lap, half a lap basically, so he's not really enjoying his time out here. Have to see if this yellows. H. McGuire's retired now, and that is going through the little section before Anderson Bridge. Nothing seems to be coming out though for it. The drivers remain going on the green flags. Ghost Recon spun as well for the last little chicane. He's going to be down behind his teammates. Old School's past him there. It's a shame for the American, who got up for a decent start, you have to say. Not really able to get through much. Poltopus is looking for a move potential in Harry Noir, as I predicted earlier on. Not quite, he's backing off down towards turn 7. And the Greek himself is losing a little bit of touch with T-Brum up in front. Just looks very quick as of right now. And, looks to be able to pull away. Ben Scott and Jay Hinks just in behind, not too far off. 1.7 between Poltopus and Ben Scott, so although Ben Scott doesn't have any DRS to play with, so that could be a disadvantage for him.
Yeah, I'll have to see. And out the AlphaTauris are going to play the team game here. Yellow flags, Old School in the back.
I'm not so sure what's going on with him. So it looked like a very heavy look up. So he's now falling behind Ibo. He doesn't seem to have any visual damage anyway, so Ibo's gone straight into a wall there. He's lost his front wing. And that has brought out a safety car. That's a very interesting one to have a safety car for. I didn't see that as heavy as maybe McGuire's one earlier. Let's see what this does for other people, because if they're going to try and pin it not, T-Rim stays out. Ironwork stays out. Yeah, all of these guys are going to probably stay out. I see no one else really coming in for the pits. Steban is actually in. Yes. Steban is the first one in. From the heart as well, so that's an interesting choice. You expect to try and like make the side loss as long as you can, even when you have an early safety car. Of course, I get the software on the spitting and the Jetix here. That could bring him into a decent position if he doesn't get helped up too much later on. Steven has gone on to mediums. I think he's got damage, that might have been. Yeah, they've just fixed his wing. He's just out ahead of Energetics, but the gap is a lot closer now. Old School, and I guess Ibo is going to go in as well. That's going to promote Swip up a position, maybe too. So, yeah, the rest of the order will be reformed. I'm surprised that they've had safety car, to be honest.
Yeah, it must have broke the wall.
Yeah, barrier fixes in it. Let's see. One thing then as well, Damon, who's had a quali ban, started 19th obviously because Jess was there as well. He's up at the P10, and we know from him he can have very good pace, so that is one tip to watch out for later on. Of course, I don't think this will be the last safety car given it's Division 4. Yeah, we had a good few at tracks like Imola, which I commented over as well. So Singapore should provide the same, but you never really know. It's all up in the air. Old School's gone to another set of softs, by the way. That's an interesting choice. Well, that's what Old School does, interesting choices, so I'll have to see if that one pays off for him. Of course, there's a lot of hard runners around him, so definitely some ground's able to make up. Let's see if he has the pace for it, though.
I was going to mention that no one had retired yet in this race. Other than H. McGuire retired like 30 seconds after I had that thought. And then Ibo hit the wall a lap later and brought out the safety car, so.
I guess you have some telepathic skills we don't know about. But
I was gonna say, I guess I don't even have to say it now. I just gotta think it and it's gonna happen, so.
Well, just think the opposite then no one will crash and it will all be great.
Clean race, everybody, come on.
Because Recon has gone in and Steven has gone in again. That beat to the heart, so we try to make it towards the end. I think goes Recon, he's gonna go to mediums. Not sure why. Steven has broken his wing again because he's changed it again. It's into the softs. This is some very interesting strategy. So Damon has spun in the safety car.
Oh.
And he's down into 15th now, so all his progress I was talking about earlier I've fully jinxed now, so he's able to get past Swift. Hopefully it doesn't glitch the game. Seems like it doesn't, so that's all good. Yeah, I need to stop having thoughts and saying things as well, because apparently that tends to jinx people too. I'm expecting the safety car to be in this lap again, so I reckon Steven and Ebo will be able to catch up quite easily. And let's see where and if T-Brum is able to hold on to that lead. He did look able to do that from the start itself. Let's see if that applies to now, if he's warmed up his tyres well enough.
Yeah, he'll definitely have to keep, I mean, he's had the 5 laps on these tires to keep him warm, and then obviously the long safety car laps here to try to keep them up to temperature. So if he could have pulled away at the beginning, I think he'll probably do it again. I think the next point for him is I mean, I guess you could say
Ben Scott.
Ooh.
He's dropping down the grid. Must have spun it there. And he's down to P9, so that's another one who's not been able to hack it on the safety car. I think he's going to pass Jaff, but this is going to cause a lot of a mess. So one of you has to take a hit and go again. T-Ram does look like it's not quite yet. Still waiting, then towards the final corner, and he's gone now, halfway through. And that's called Harry to work off a little bit. As well as Jay Hings has just spun into the pit lane. Just about missed that. Polterpuss up
There's
as
3
well.
of them!
This is insane. They all, I guess, not had the tires of the Tims, but you have 3 drivers. Polterpuss, I think it was Jaff, and there was Jay Hings. Or was it Steven? I'm not too sure, but there were 3 cars around there that all managed to spin there. Goes Wigan had a little moment there. He's dropped down to 14th now. And it's all gone mad here. As, yeah, this is now T-Brum quite late. It's 1.2 seconds over Harry Noir. With a sizable lead to Jordan as well. He's got a big train of cars behind him still. But that was a very peculiar moment.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think it was Polypole's job and Jay Hims that went around. Because Jordan's up to 3rd now, Connor's up to 4th. So Connor's just got to get past Jordan. My prediction's all set. At least for now.
I mean, the strategy could help with that. He's on to the mediums later on. Who knows? Steven gets past Polypole's. Just checking. Yeah, Polypole's definitely has damage. His entire front wing is gone. I think Jaff does have damage as well. Right end plate seems to not be there anymore. I think James avoided it. He just seemed to just about miss the wall and reverse back onto the racing line and will not lose any of his car, which is going to help him a little bit, but definitely that spin is a tough setback for now. Moving on to lap 8, yeah, T-Rum leading quite his way now. Jess is on up a little bit of training with Energetics and Damon, both the Dutchies in behind here. Damon looking like he can go for a move on Energetics actually. Then the inside of turn 1 does look like it's going to be completed before the corner. Energetics tries to stick his nose in, a little bit off track there. But Damon does get through there, and yeah, a very decent move there by the McLaren, just in behind Old School, looking at a move on Swift as well. Goes Recon not too far in behind, and Steban as well. So this could be a decent little fight. Jamie met and Saruncha. As Jamie met slowed down quite a bit there on the straight. I'm not too sure what that was about. Let's see if the Astons can go for any moves. It doesn't look like it. Just have to stick in mind. Hope was just put it onto hards and yeah, onto mediums.
Oh! Sebastian's running to the back of Ghost Recon. It doesn't look like he's gotten any damage.
He's gonna be careful with the front wing. It's gonna cost the Alfa Romeo pit crew quite a lot of money, I reckon. So Ghost Recon goes a bit wide there for their turn number 10. As Energetics has gone round in this tight little twisty section. It seems to catch so many people out. The Ghost Recon is seemingly trying to go for a move on his teammate in Old School. Then the outside, as Damon's getting past Jess as well up ahead. Looks like Old School's just going to be able to stick ahead. As Steban gets through two of them. Don't know how much contact was in play there. Didn't really see it. My camera did decide to not show that. But yeah, Steban up into 12th.
As the first man he overtakes would have said, "What a move." But like you said, I don't know how much contact there was. I definitely heard some contact. As Ben Scott's into the pits.
For any wing damage, let's have a look. Being on the hard, you wouldn't pit this early if you didn't have it. So yeah. I'm guessing, yeah, that is definitely wing damage, and that's going to be changed. He's onto the mediums, so we won't be able to make these to the end, I reckon. Who knows though? I think Dan did it in D1, so it's not entirely impossible. It's a lap or two later, but it's very difficult to do it. Steven is now looking onto the back of Swip here, then towards turn 7, Swip goes defensive. Steven running outside, on the softs, does he have enough grip? Does look like it. So Damon gets past Jamie Met as well. Turn 8, that's an interesting place. Goes Recon just sticking his nose in there. Old School as well, still Aston side by side. Old School just about running deep, staying ahead. Goes Recon on the switchback. And he is back up into P12. Looked a little bit messy from the Astons, but they got through it pretty unscathed, I think. And they're going to have to try and get past the Williams of Swip. As Energetics now goes through on Old School as well. May have made a little bit of a mistake. Didn't quite catch it. So J Hinks is now approaching the Aston Martin as well. Down towards turn number 14. DRS is open. But so is the case for Old School, so no move on the cards here. Goes Recon just still trying to get past Swip here. Not quite working out for now.
Yeah, it's a lovely battle here for the final points positions as Ghost side by side with Swip under the grandstands. How have they made that work?
I'm not quite sure, but it's working.
I would have thought at least one of them would have ended up into one of the walls.
Well.
So Sebastian spun. That's turn 20.
Yeah.
No damage it looks like, but he's going to come to the pits.
Might call it a day, to be honest, at that point. Energetics going for moving it. Swip. No problem there. Swip lets him through, and Energetics into P11. Yeah, he might have had damage though. The soft side just not that good of a race tire. Jordan getting passed by Jordan O'Keefe there. 4P number 3, and your prediction is seemingly getting closer and closer.
Come on.
To see that later on in the race, so we only have third for the race, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So Pumpkin says the fastest lap of the race. J Hink just got past Old School. Steven is going to rejoin quite a way ahead of his teammate Jaff, who's down in 19th. Not really enjoying his time, I reckon. Yellow flag, I think that's Old School actually in the wall. Yeah, down into turn 8. And his entire front wing is gone there, so it was just trying to get past, but not quite either. Yeah, it was just about gets past there, but that corner is very difficult apparently. Very tight corner, and if you just misjudge it a little bit, it's very easy to hit a wall and go around there. As Ibo and Oscar just exchanging positions a little bit. No, actually, Ibo's spun round into the wall, I think. Yeah. And he's losing quite a bit of time now. Pulpus will be on this back quite soon enough. Off the front, yeah, about 4 seconds is the gap from T-Brum to Harry Mark now. And Mercedes is just going to grow and grow. This dominant performance so far. Old School is just trying to make it back to the pits, I guess. It's the best he can do for now.
Doesn't look like, I was about to say there's no battles going on, but Sarante spins out of turn 1. Damon gets
Oh.
past, even Met gets past.
I think James has a lot of moments on the last corner as well, so with yellow flags there for the AlphaTauri.
He's got wing damage too.
There is damage, yeah, right at end plate. Seems to be gone. Syringe gets back past the Ferrari of Jamie Mitt, who now has his teammate of GS sitting behind there. And Ben Scott, who has retired as well, into the pits.
Oh.
He's in the pit wall. He's on a, as we like to call that, TDB. Known for doing that. Chav setting the first lap of the race actually in the mediums. Yeah, that's not a nice one. I'm guessing he has no front wing and maybe just all locked up when going into the pits. He's out of the race. That's a second retirement on lap 11 now. Let's hope that not too many more follow, but I honestly don't know if that will be the case. Goes Recon onto the back of the Ferraris now, and those mediums you should be able to think that you might get a move off. Let's see, down into turn 14 is a very audacious place to make a move. Not quite coming off then, so Jav gets the penalty there. It's the second one to do that off Tabo. It's gonna harm him in case of any safety cars later on in the race. Goes Recon just seeing if he can get past the Ferrari of Jess. Not quite pulling that one off for now.
You'll see what Ghost Recon can do here. He's been carving his way through the field. After getting past Old School and a lot of guys towards the back of the grid, he's been flying so far.
He's looking for it. Not quite. Just holds on to that position for a couple of corners more. It's Old School. It's another moment, and yeah, he's not enjoying this track as much as I think would have liked to. Space goes left position. Jay Hings is into the pits. Goes Recon's going to look for a move again, and we have to look out for Energetics here as well. Goes Recon, quite easily getting passed through turn number 6. Energetics has to stick in behind, not close enough to pull off a move. Although just runs a little bit wide, so Energetics is looking at it down towards turn 8, but again, not quite possible. So Jay Hings is fitted onto the hearts, and then he'll be trying to go towards the end of the race and hopefully pick up a few positions in the meantime. Yeah, Energetics just gonna have to stick in behind here, maybe down towards turn 14. There's a little bit of an opportunity for the Red Bull to get past the Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, even then, he's already lost. I think the plan was for Energetics to get past 2 and just keep within the DRS that goes Recon, but they've already lost 1.6 seconds, so Energetics got to get past here, and then he's got to, I almost said what I was thinking, but I decided not to. He's going to have to haul butt here in order to get back within DRS. But being on the hards, it's going to be difficult as it is. Let's see what he can get out of this going into the pit straight. Just with a little mistake.
Up ahead goes Recon as well, looking on the other Ferrari. Then towards turn 1. Let's see, is there a move going on down the inside? Backside of it, thinks better of it. Jim Miss holds on. Energetics is not getting past either for now. So that's just sticking out of this, but I think down towards turn number 7, I think we'll see a move, at least from the Aston here. It's definitely on the back of Jamie Metz, very close to it. ERS is being used for whatever is left of it for the American, and that should be a very easy move. Jamie Metz tucks him behind. Energetics down the inside of Jess. That going to be a clean move completed down towards turn 7? Yes, it is, and he is up in the P10. And a bit of a recovery drive for the Red Bull. He's going to have to hope to get up there and hopefully prevent his competitors from stealing too many points from him. Stepan is in for another time. So another from winning costs. Yeah, I think the cost stack for Alfa Romeo is stacking up quite nicely at this point. The mediums are being put on the car, which have been used already for the single lap he did before he lost it again. So this yellow flag, that's Old School once again. Just lost it out of turn number 21. Just got lapped by T-Brum. That's quite unfortunate to see. There's also got overtaken by Jav there. So Jav is just chilling in the DRS of T-Brum for now. And he'll probably want to try and get himself unlapped. Though he's on the soft, so he definitely has to pit again. But if that's the case, Jordan is the first one to seem to make his completely regular pit stop, with no damage in between there either way. Hart's fitted onto the Mercedes. Damon gets past on Axel through turn 1, 2, and 3. And that seems to be move completed, but Axel has a lot of ERS and is probably able to fight back here if he wants to. Let's see, DRS and ERS have been enabled. Could be a move down towards turn 7. I think he's going to try it towards the outside late move. That was very late. I think he didn't realize the closing speed as much. But yeah, Damon stays ahead there. And the Jetix and Jamie Meta go side by side on the straight as well. A little bit with contact he just caught on. So Energetic around the outside does seem to complete the move, and he's up into P8. Jamie Meta demoted down into P9. Yeah, that little moment between Axel and Kane was interesting. Axel didn't seem to realize how much gaining speed he had on the McLaren, and quite managed to go through then. I think Steban is around again. So another front wing gone, as Old School goes quite wide there as well. These two definitely not enjoying their time tonight. They're not even halfway through, and see more front wings scattered than Brazil's conceded goals in the 2014 semi-final. So.
Oh man! Bringing back the roast from 8 years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah, it goes that far back, unfortunately for them. But yeah, Harry Marcus followed Jordan's lead now, and he's into the pits onto fresh hearts, and hopefully for him, can maybe gain some time on T-Brum, but of course the gap was very big. Conor O'Keefe picks up a free second time penalty. That could hurt him later on, maybe in an attempt to get the second place of that Red Bull of Harry Noah. See where he comes out, because he's going to be close to Swip here, and that could force a little bit of traffic onto the Red Bull's way. Let's see, because the tyres are going to be cold at that pit, so it'll be difficult for Harry Noah to hold on initially. Let's see if Swip is going to look at a move. Ahead goes Recon, is looking at Sarunchi. Don't think he's going to be close enough. He's just sticking him behind. But yes, Swip, is he going to be close enough for a move? So also picks up a time penalty. Don't think he is going to be close enough. So there's more yellow flags. This time it's yellow Alfa Romeo of Jaft. And he is around and gets back past by his teammate again. So we're just holding positions there. Then play basically Steven Jaft and also. And that leaves Ibo still on 15, which is quite well doing for him. Only 3 more retirements, and he's into the pits, into the points. Steven has now retired. Speaking of which, and that is definitely safety car there. That's definitely enhanced damage cost once again, but this should surely enable T-Brum and all to pit right in, or do they not think they can make it towards the end? I mean, they're gonna have to try anyway. Otherwise, you're just left out in the dark here. Someone who's going to benefit over this is definitely Goes Recon, being on those mediums. Let's even decides to stay out. Dame is going to come in as well. Axel looks to come in as well. It should all go to mediums, apart from Goes Recon, then obviously. And I think Harry Noah and Jordan will be very gutted that that one came out.
Yeah, they might make up a couple of positions, but I don't think to the extent of where they were when the safety car came out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was struggling to find the pits there, or deciding whether he wanted to pit. Energetics, I said this earlier, he's benefited of this. He's managing to get the second place now, although that tire set is quite old. That is definitely beneficial to him. And he can go on for something. As I said, Goes Recon wouldn't go into mediums, but he's gone into softs, which is not something I expected. Well, the hards should easily make it from here, and the softs are definitely not going to make it. Another 15 laps. So, very interesting strategy from the Aston Martin there, but oh well, maybe it will pay off for him. If there's another safety car, then sure, it's definitely going to pay off for him, but it's not looking like it's the case for now, and yeah. But T-Brum is leading ahead of Energetics. Conor O'Keefe did jump Harry Noah in the end. Swip is there as well, and with Jordan in behind and Damon. Then the 2 Haas drivers of Polopus and Axel. See if they can maybe force their way up the grid together. Syringe is in P10 and then goes Recon on that soft set in P11. The two Ferraris of Jamie and Jess in 12th and 13th. Jay Hinks is 14th with Ibos in 15th. Old School still the last one on the lead lap, and Jav is, unfortunately for him, lapped and he's stuck behind T-Brum for now. On a set of softs as of right now, so that's a bit fortunate for him, because I think if he didn't pit that lap, he could have unlapped himself. So, interesting choice there, but yeah, he's going to be stuck behind for now, and yeah, so for a miracle, maybe try and unlap himself, and then another safety car comes out, and then he gets caught up again. But that's quite a stretch there for the Alfa Romeo. Quite unfortunate to see for him. So all of the drivers are just waiting to catch up to the safety car.
I think Brazil had a better chance of getting back into that 2014 World Cup game than Chavez getting back on the lead lap, but you know. We'll leave it at that. We'll try not to...
Swip is in.
That's a good call.
Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely the better call, I reckon. I think he may have realised a little bit late that it was the better call to pit, but again, I don't think he's losing that much out. He's just going to lose out to Jess, I think. Yeah, it was a wrong, like around the Ferraris anyway. I think he's just going to be ahead of Jay Hinks, although it'd be close actually with the AlphaTauri. Let's see, the AlphaTauri could jump in. But it's close enough. It's going to be very close. I think Jay Hinks is just ahead there. Yeah, he is, and Swift is still up for 14th, so he's lost that one position by it, but he has on better tyres now, and maybe he can find himself back into the points later on with a few incidents happening here and there. Just over halfway through in the race, and still 17 cars are running, which is honestly more than I expected it to be.
That's true. I would have thought maybe 6 or 7 guys would have been out of this race, but these guys have handled it pretty well, if I'm being honest. A lot of spins at the back, but other than that,
yeah,
it's
mostly cars by themselves spinning rather than any whistle incidents, which is of course good to see. Like, obviously not the spins themselves, but rather have that than some incidents, although I've probably just jinxed that now. We're gonna see a lot of carnage. So
there's gonna be a track blockage at the bridge now, thanks to that.
Yeah, I think that's we're gonna have a few dive bombs here and there, but who knows? We'll have to see. We still have 14 laps remaining, so there could be a lot happen.
Yeah, I think with all the single car spins, not a lot of incidents. Definitely keeping J. Cole, I mean the steward's job a little less busy this week, so.
I mean, you'd be surprised, but I think have to see if these guys can maybe keep that as clean towards the end of the race. I hope so, anyway. So of course, good to see mutual respect, and I think that's definitely been given today as of right now. So I've definitely just jinxed that, but oh well. Okay, keep to go. The other thing is that Jav is right behind T-Brum, right? T-Brum is just gonna be able to walk away because there's another car between him and Energetics. Energetics also on all the tires. I mean, this should be a walk in the park for the Mercedes, but you know, it's a very very difficult track. There's only one mistake and it could cost you dramatically. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves and say he's won it yet, but he's definitely doing a good job trying to extend his championship lead. I think Pacific will be going in his lap because Oscar is just about to catch up towards the rest of the queue. Let's see what happens on the rest of it.
I think if Michael Massey was the race steward, I think Zhao probably would have lapped himself.
Yeah, he's between the first and second car. Funnily enough, the Mercedes and the Red Bull as well.
Yeah.
So
make it happen.
Yeah, we might need to give a phone call to see what happens. Yeah, I think Jeff will definitely try and get himself on the laps because that's the only way he's going to be possibly in the contention of getting anywhere in this race. Which, although, you know, it's Division 4. We've just jinxed the amount of retirements, so you know, if he keeps it on track, there's a good chance he'll still get points. I think the safety car will be going in this lap, so you can hear us stop them all ruffling and actually go about the race.
Well, there's
Yeah,
not much to
T-Brum,
talk about.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about though. It's just gonna be waiting for these guys. Of course, Harry Work and Jordan are on hards. That's gonna be a difficult one. Polipus as well, actually. With some guys on mediums and softs in behind. There could definitely be some fighting, especially from the quicker guys such as Damon, Axel as well. When cut in this race, it's been fairly on pace. But I just wait until T-Brum sets up the grid to restart this race with 13 laps to go.
We'll get ready to go back racing. Energetics not really on the back of, I guess at this point it is Job Cern. And, he's closed up now, so let's see how Job plays this out. Let's see if he tries to race T-Brum to get his lap back, or if he's just going to let everybody go. Green flag, back to racing in Singapore, and already 1.4, now 5 seconds between T-Brum and Energetics up at the front.
Damon, down the inside of Jordan, has a cent into turn 1, but he's made that one stick. Fair play. Yeah, he's definitely one that could maybe even, I want to say he can easily get up to P2 because of Conor O'Keefe's penalty, who's down to the back of Energetics. It does look like he wants to get past quite soon enough. I think Energetics has more straight line speed and he's managing to hold on because of that. Damon is one I could tip for that. So Axel's going there in the outside of his teammate, not quite being able to pull that one off, just sticking behind. Yeah, Damon's one I tip here for definitely P2. I don't think he's quick enough to catch T-Brum, but he does look like he can get up there just behind the Mercedes. As Ghost Recon gets past on Syringy, making the best of those soft tires. Spacious place to make a move, but maybe Syringy made a little mistake. The gap ahead is quite big. But yeah, Ghost Recon up into P9 there.
We'll see how much he can overtake before he's got a pit. Damon inside of Harry's switchback, running into the third sector.
Ooh, it's going to be a difficult one to make it stick. Still side by side, but I think Harry Noir just wasn't going to stick ahead there. But Damon is definitely very eager and seems to have quite a bit of confidence and quite a bit of pace here. So definitely something on for the Dutchman here. As there's yellow flags, old school at the back is round. T-Brum sitting in the first lap of the race. And just look how far he's clear. 6.2 seconds. I mean, that's just insane at this point. Of course, Energetic is on all the tires, and you know, there was a little bit of a gap already, but even Javs pulled away from this train quite marginally. And the whole train is still basically together, so Energetic space is definitely not up to par at this point, and Conor O'Keefe, I think, has seen this and is going to try and get past the Red Bull. Let's see, Energetic goes defensive, Damon getting past Harry Noirk in the background, and Conor O'Keefe is not able to get through, and that just shows how difficult it is to overtake here. Because Recon in the back of Axel, that's very close to contact, but the American backs out just in time. Yeah, it does show how difficult it is to overtake around this track, even when you have such a pace advantage here. It's not very easy to, you know, just get past with the DRS quite easily. Of course, there's no DRS activated right now. But still, that does give him this, and it just goes a bit wide, and that could allow Conor O'Keefe to go for something, but not quite yet. He's going to have to do it with ERS, and I don't think he's close enough again towards turn 14, and this is just allowing T-Brum to run away. 8.5 seconds. This is no contest for him anymore.
I did say the only thing that can beat T-Brum is T-Brum, so just a mental mistake from T-Brum, and it's all over. But we'll see. I'm interested to see how the McLarens are going to play this out, because Damon got past the Red Bull of Harry Noir.
Oh, well, that's how they're going to play that. Conor O'Keefe has just lost it through turn number 20, and there's something, and Damon has lost it as well.
Oh no!
So this jinx thing, right?
Oh,
it's not really working out on your end. Damon is able to continue. I think Conor O'Keefe smashed off his wing. that was
Oh my
yeah,
god.
very very interesting moment there, Maverick. I have to say. Just ignoring that, Soren just gonna come onto the back of Close Recon, who's also probably burned out by then. And let's remember, any outside of turn 7 is gonna be difficult to hang on there. Any outside, he still does it because Recon hangs on the inside though. Yeah, it's more exit speed than the P7. But yeah, both McLarens spinning basically in a gap of 2 corners of each other. But that's setting back quite a bit. I think Damon could still be on for a good result. Space is, I think, good enough to go through. Didn't get any damage, but it's definitely set back. But yeah, Conor O'Keefe. Oh dear, that's not very good for him. He gets 30 seconds off the pack now, so he's really in need of a safety car, definitely. Also, it's got a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit exit white line, and you must have done that twice at least to get one of those penalties. So good job on you there. As Energetics is still holding up this place. Harry Work is into P2 in the meantime. I think we missed that a little bit. But yeah, Jordan now looking to back of Energetics, who's definitely struggling on those hards. As yeah, look at the gap between T-Brim and the rest of the pack. As Energetics does get a time pen as well. It's just going to drop him further and further back.
I think Axel might look for a move on Foldy Poles into turn number 1. Sticks his nose in there, just backs out. It's going to wait for the run down to turn number 5.
Meantime, Damon got past Swift as well for P12, so he's back into the points. And he's back into the train as well, so definitely something on the card still for him. He's definitely one of the quickest ones out there right now. Just needs to stop, making those little mistakes that are going to cost him. Goes Recon on the back of Axel for P6. On the outside, not quite. Switchback, not quite either. And the Greek half rifle holds on just ahead of the American, the Aston Martin. So, yeah, it's just forming a big train, and it's given very much almost D1 vibes at this point, of how big the train is. Something that these people are not very used to, I reckon, so let's see how they handle this. But, it seems to be all very respectful for now. And it is holding this all a bit up. He's still somehow keeping within the DRS of Harry and Work. Jaff gets a penalty himself. He's just gonna no man's land there, driving between T-Room and this pack led by the Red Bulls.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother saying how are the Red Bulls going to play this out, because I know exactly what's going to happen. So
I know what Damon's gonna do though. He's moving back past James. So he's up at the P11, and as I said, he would make some progress. Let's see how much he can make. So the next couple cars are all on, the same tyres as him. So it's going to be a lot more difficult than maybe Jay Hings on all the hards. So see the AlphaTauri going wide in the background and like allow Swift to go for a move. Not quite yet, but yeah, this is allowing to maybe for Damon to get through a few cars here, especially if this train is going so slow. Definitely a few positions on the cards, and Energetics is still sticking with Harry Norg, and I wonder if they're trying to team play this. Because the way this is going, if Energetics just sticks within the DRS of Harry Noir, or Harry Noir lets him stick in the DRS of him, Swift gets past Jay Hings on the straight in. It's a lot more difficult for the guys in behind, such as Jordan or Podipus, to actually try and overtake. Because the car defending will have the DRS as well. So Damon is getting closer and closer to the back of Jess now. He's definitely still very eager to make up lost time. Down the inside of the hairpin. Very late lunge, a little bit of contact, but it did seem all decent and well. And he's up into P10. And the next one is another Ferrari. This is still looking quite decent for Damon, I have to say.
yeah, he might. I have a feeling he'll probably get up to maybe P6 and P7 at the rate that he's going. Especially since Ghost Recon's tires are probably, they're a good medium well here. They got to be done.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised he's still sticking with his terrain quite well. So Pompous may have made a little mistake. He's just dropping back from the rest of this is might allow Axel to go for a move quite soon. Jamie Metz is close to Syringe as well, and of course watch out for Damon there. Yeah, I'm wondering because Jordan has basically no ERS. Energetics has almost a full tank, so these Red Bulls, I think they're team playing this. I think they're trying to. But then again, it would be maybe making more sense to have Energetics try and get as clear of as many people as they can on those hard tires, because of that penalty, obviously. So, see this because at this rate, the whole train there, and he's just gonna drop a whole big walk back towards. Well, let's see as of right now, gonna at least drop back to P8. So that is not helping in the slightest. Ghost Recon's tires have fallen off the cliff as he has dropped back from Axel now. And that's going to allow Syringe maybe to go for an overtake then to hairpin. We saw it from Damon last lap. Not quite this time out. Damon is doing it again this lap though on the other Ferrari. And that is up into P9 goes to McLaren. So next up is Syringe and Ghost Recon then, because Ghost Recon's tires are not going to last very long anymore.
I think two very aggressive overtakes from Damon, but I think he knows he has the pace. He's got to get the moves done wherever he can. And I think these next two moves on Strante, Ghost Recon should be good.
Oh,
Boldy pulls, mistake.
I think he's hit the wall.
I think his end plates are gone.
Yeah, Ghost Recon victim of that as well. Yeah, Polipus definitely has an end plate gone. I think Ghost Recon has some damage as well. Yeah, he's going into the pits. I don't know if that was planned anyway, because the softs might have been dead as well. And that opens a little bit of a gap between Axel and Syringe now. And that plays into the favour of Energetics, of course, as Damon is now very eager to go for a move then on the Alpine. I think down towards turn 7 we'll see the McLaren go for a move. Energetics has dropped back, by the way, from his teammate, so Jordan is now going to have to go for it, but he doesn't have the ERS to play with, and Energetics does. So, yeah, Energetics remains in that P3 for now, but I think Jordan also knows Energetics has that penalty, and I don't have to get past for a podium. Damon managed not to overtake, actually, so Syringe is still in P6, but I think Damon, you know, we've seen this spot now twice. This is a yellow flag, I think this is the back. It was a bit Ibo for a little bit. Let's see if he goes for it again. Oh, I don't think he can, because he had a little moment there. And that is not allowing Damon to go for anything there. Jamie Metz had a little look, but is not going to go for the overtake there. He backs off rightfully so.
T-Room had a scary moment there trying to pass both
Damon!
Oh no!
It's locked up, and he's into the wall. And he'll be good about that one. Oh no.
Wow.
I was just catching on board with him and it just goes straight on. So Janaf is now retired as well in the tunnel, and that's brought no safety car. A T-Room is not able to pit right away. But I think the Delta will still remain as long as he's not caught up. Heinemark is going in. Energetics is weirdly enough stayed out.
I don't think
Jordan has stayed out. I guess so. Jordan has stayed out. Jamie Metz, Jess, all staying out. Also, there is obviously like a limited lap amount remaining. I mean, you could gamble on the track position, definitely. Yeah, predictably a lot of softs being put on the cars. This will of course help Damon a little bit, as he has another chance to make things right. And another person that's going to help is Ghost Recon, and I don't get why he's gone in again. Unless he has damage, there's no reason for you to go in. Because you see what Polipus is doing. Because Recon could have been right ahead of there. So let's see if he has damage. Oh, he does. So that's the only reason where I could think he could go in. And that's why he has gone in. T-Broom could make a free pit stop still. So just out there to note that. I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. And the Ferraris are doing an interesting strategy here as well, 4th and 5th. If they can hold on to that decently, or at least positions around that, is a good haul of points for them.
Yeah, this safety car has really changed the order up. Might not have been the safety car everybody wanted. But I think it's a safety car that
We all need
is...
it.
maybe
Yeah,
just the Ferraris, but you know,
yeah. I'm
Theorem's
curious
in.
what. Yeah, that's not surprising. He's able to get that free pit stop. He's gonna still be ahead of Energetics no matter what. So, and that does allow Old School and Ibo to be unlocked. So, you know what? Bit of charity work done as well there for the Canadian.
Energetics is coming in.
He's coming in. So they just wanted to prevent a double stack, I reckon. See, Jordan stays out. That's a curious one. The Ferrari is splitting as Jamie Met gets a time penalty on the pit exit. I think he just cut it a little bit too much. Yeah, the Ferrari is splitting, so that promotes Jess into third now. Jamie Met, he's still going to be quite a far way ahead. I wonder how that happens. He was not this far up. Is he going to be ahead of Axel actually? Going to be close. I think Axel's just ahead. No. Jamie Met is ahead. Russ out of pits and he's into P6, but of course that penalty is now going to hurt him a little bit. And yeah, it'll be good that he got that one. I'm very curious what Jordan's plan is here, because he's on the worst tyres on the grid, essentially. I don't see him being able to hold on against all these soft runners, but who knows, maybe he can prove me wrong. They're not really in position to pit and get a good position still in there either, so gonna be difficult for him to hold on. But yeah, T-Brown remains out in the leads, and you know what, with those two cars in behind, I don't think there's gonna be any competition here. And he should win this one quite remarkably and easily, and wouldn't be surprised if he still gets a good 5 to 10 second gap at the very least.
Yeah, Jordan might try to stay with T-Brim. I doubt it's going to happen with the tires being,
I mean,
two compounds harder and 13 laps older. So
yeah, I don't think there's a chance for Jordan to even stick within sector 1. So you know what, that's going to be very, very difficult. Let's see, there's Old School pitted again, in the hope that he doesn't get lost behind and the safety doesn't go in early. So we're not going to have that many laps of actual racing remaining. The max 4 if it goes in this lap, and I don't even know if it will. So this could be very interesting to see whether, you know, we're going to get a little bit of carnage. So that's what these light safety cars do tend to do. So I've just seen it switch to 28, so I'm not too sure on what lap we're actually on, I have to be honest. I saw it's switching quite late, so don't know what it says for you. Yeah, we're just waiting for the last cars to come back into the queue anyway. And hopefully they can grab a position or two here and there if they're lucky. I'm looking at Ghost Recon. It's been quite decent on the pace so far, but just maybe the strategy calls not gone to his plan, to say the least. He may have been still in the fight for, you know, the top 5 for now, so there's still a few laps to make some moves and, you know, get up the grid a little bit, so who knows.
we'll see. I'm sure these guys are going to be super aggressive on the softs, but how much are they willing to risk it for the biscuit, as they say over here?
What could be beneficial for someone like Energetics and also Jamie Mint, if they can get past this little clutter of Jordan and Jess basically, they have the pins. If other people get stuck behind him, they can grow quite a bit of a gap. They should anyway be able to. So, we'll have to see. But it doesn't seem like it's going to go in this lap. That means we might only have 2 laps of racing. And that could even benefit Jordan and Jess again. So, we'll have to see about that. But yeah, it does go to 29. I guess my spectator thing glitched a little bit. And that just seems to happen every now and then. But, yeah. T-Brum's on the lead, and I don't see any threats in at all. Unless, yeah, as you said earlier, it's himself, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll have to see if he can hold on to that. As Ibo, quite remarkably, has gone back into the pits. So he's unlikely to actually catch up in that case, anyway. Gonna be fresh as softs though. So nice. There's a few retirements. There's still points in the cards for Ibo. And I think also will try and get past him now. I think he'll like to do that, but it's gonna be very close with him. So Ibo just coming out of the pits just ahead of him. We have about 20 seconds to catch the train. 40 seconds actually, my mistake. But I think that should be doable actually. But no, just waiting for the message to say safe score in this lap. I think we'll get it right away here. It's, this is the last lap that is going to be possible, and yeah, there it is, safe score in this lap. We're going to have 2 laps of running remaining, and T-Brum should be on for the win here. Let's see if Jordan and Jess can stick on for P2 and P3. It's going to be a very difficult one on their older tires, but it's definitely worth a gamble. Let's see if they're gonna be paid off for that gamble.
Let's see what happens here. Like you said, 2 laps to go. Lap 29 going on lap 30. And if you guys can count to 2, lap 31.
Oh, mate.
Will be the last lap of racing we get. How early will T-Brum going? He's been going before the final corner. There we go. Jordan lagging just a little bit behind. Just Gamer didn't get a really good start. There goes Energetics.
Not quite on it though. No, he's not going to be able to. Polypus is looking for a move on Syringa, not able to turn one either. Damon is looking for moves as he goes a bit wide. I think Conor O'Keefe has gone round there. That's not ideal for him. Polypus is swift coming into contact. Energetic has passed Games. Polypus just lost on his own, and I think he's gone into Swift and got for it a little bit. Jess is just dropping down a few positions, same with Jimmy Met there. The Red Bulls have made their way into 3rd and 4th, and that has caused Jordan now to be under pressure quite a bit here. Damon is looking for a move on Swift, not quite able to pull off. Same with Jay Hinks on the McLaren a bit. And again, not able to pull it off as Ghost Recon is lagging quite a bit. As for Damon is now out and Jay Hinks out as well. I think Jay is just going to avoid Damon already crashing out himself. And that has cost him any chance of the points now, and that's quite bad to see. Yeah, those things do happen. Jordan still remains in 2nd, and Jetix has to pull this one off to maybe clear that 3-second gap he needs to potentially get a podium, who knows. We'll have to see if he's able to do that. Just following him through his last sector, I don't think there's much of a move going to be on. We'll have to see. Yeah, as I said, T-Brum is almost 5 seconds clear. Polypus and Ibo are fighting a little bit. Ibo is holding on here. Polypus is staying ahead, and Old School is just in behind his as well. T-Brum's in the first lap of the race. Ibo and Polypus colliding there. And that promotes Old School into P12. In the meantime, Energetics is down the inside of Jordan, and that should be the move done. Jordan is still fighting it though, still side by side through turn number 3 on the exit. The soft should have the superior grip. But Jordan still has some ERS to play with as well as Energetics. Energetics, I think, is going to get that move pulled off though, and Harry Noir is looking for it now as well. Then he is out of the Mercedes. And all three of them are on their ERS, and behind Axel going for a move from Jess as well. But we're just focusing on this one. Harry Noir around the outside of Jordan. Should be the move done into P3, and Jordan has to settle for fourth. Axel get past Jamie Met, who is now getting past Jess as well. Side by side go to both Ferraris. Jessica takes a very tight line as they come into contact, and that's Finn Sarunchi around as well. Both Jess and Sarunchi around, and that is just gonna drop him further back. Swip is getting past Jamie Met, but there's more contact there. Swip has lost his front wing, and that's gonna promote Ghost Recon into 6th. And it's all kicked off in these last 2 laps. As yeah, T-Rum's gonna win this one ahead of the 2 Red Bulls. See if Energetic can get third. He needs about 8/10 more on Jordan to get that, as Axel is in behind there as well. Probably aiming to get a move done as well. Yeah, Swift just gone deep, and I think he just bounced back onto the track and may have cost Jamie Met his front wing as well, but catching him off with T-Brum now. He's come around to win this Grand Prix, predictably 7 seconds in the end. He wins it by over Energetics, who I think is still going to get third here. If not mistaken, Harry Noir is going to get second. Energetics is third, 3/10 ahead of Jordan, and Axel in behind as well. Ghost Recon gets 6th place, with Swip in 7th. Jamie is going to settle for 8th, with Sarunchi in 9th. Connor O'Keefe is spinning across the line to take 10th, and Old School, after basically being almost lapped the whole race, has managed to pick up 2 points. All of them just picking up the last point of the race, with Ivo and Polypus not getting any points here, and of course quite a few DNFs, including I think the entire Alfa Romeo cost gap basically. But yeah, T-Brum wins here and extends his lead in the championship quite a bit, and he'll be happy with that.
Haas just hit their cost cap there with the Poldy Poles at the end. But
point.
Ghost Recon driver of the day. Beautiful. We love to see Americans do well in the Southeast.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often, you know. But yeah, he's managed to pull through in the end and got himself a decent P6. We see a beautiful celebration there by a character of T-Brum, I have to say. Good running for the results. T-Brum picking up 26 points here, ahead of Harry DeMarcus in 2nd, Energetics 3rd, Jordan in 4th, Axel in 5th. Goes Recon after 4 pit stops and starting 18th and 6th. Interesting there. Swip is 7th, just staying a bit clean until the last lap there. Jamie Met in 8th, Sarunchi in 9th, Connor O'Keefe in 10th, also in 11th, and Jess in 12th. Running up the point positions. Ivo and Polypus, as said, not scoring, with Jay Hinks and Damon still being classified, but both obviously DNFing on lap 30 as well, with Jaff, Steban, Ben Scott and H. McGuire all DNFing.
Alright. Let's ask the podium finishers if they're willing to do an interview. T-Brum said yes.
Alright.
Harry said yes, and Energetic said yes. So they're all good. Let's get them in here.
Alright. Let's try and get them in there then. And yeah, I'm sure definitely T-Brum will be very delighted with that pace. He's yeah, just being clear all both in qualifying and the race. He was outstanding to say. Just trying to get them in there. Takes a bit off typing, but we'll get there in the end. No, yeah, well deserved for all of them, I have to say already. That should be all of them added to the party. So let's hope they can join in and we can have an interview a little bit. They're all flowing in now. So do you want to start with Maverick?
We'll
Don't
go.
start with me.
Okay, fine. I wasn't going to. We'll go one, 2, and 3 here. Tebrum, fantastic
Eagle.
race, domination
Thank
at
you.
its best. Looked like Lewis Hamilton out there back in the early V6 turbo hybrid era. What was the feeling like leading by just a huge margin for most of the race? What did it feel like out there?
I just comfortable, I guess. I wasn't really like I was just trying to save my tires at some point, so I wasn't really trying that hard to maintain a gap or save my ERS. But yeah, I felt great. So relieved to finally win a race because I've won on track twice, and yeah, it's just great to win now.
They always say that they weren't trying whenever they dominate a race, so that's really interesting. Uh, Verstappen, any questions for our race winner?
Oh, first of all, congratulations. Of course, leading on like did at any point do you think you would be in trouble from anyone there? Because obviously you got pole by 6 tenths in qualifying and led basically every lap of the race. I didn't see anyone threatening you. Did you think at any point you were in danger?
Um, I thought at one point Connor was gonna come back because I saw him on the hards in the middle of the race, but did he spin or something like that? Because I saw two McLarens go round. Um,
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about that, shall we, Maverick? But
No, we won't.
yeah, he did spin and put it
mm,
in the wall, unfortunately. So that
yeah,
is where
so
he his chances left off.
yeah, I was hoping Jordan could get on the podium to make it a 1-3 or 1-2 for Mercedes, but yeah, I didn't really like I said in what was it Monza probably. High downforce tracks are my specialty, and I think that I really thrive in those. So yeah, I think today was probably one of my best races.
Well, that definitely shows. Thank you.
All right. Second place finisher, Harry Noir in the Red Bull, a Red Bull 2-3. Um, Talk us through the race, and at what point in the race did you think that you were going to finish on the podium?
Um, for sure, at the start when Tibram got pole about 6 tenths, yeah, I think I was. It was clear he was gonna win the race. So that's what happened in the first laps. He started creating a big gap. So yeah, so I had to fight like for the podium, and um, yeah, at the point that I pitted a lap before the safety car, it wasn't great, so dropped some positions. So that's where I thought I wouldn't end up in the podium. But then again, we had some strategy with Helke that he had some 3 seconds penalty, so we had to adjust to this so we can get both podium at the end.
Already, Verstappen?
Oh, congratulations to you as well. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, were you trained? Because obviously, Energetics got that podium at not that podium, the penalty. I do apologize. At some point, were you trained to keep him within DRS? Because at that point, Jordan was trying to get past him, I think. And were you like slowing down to make sure like Energetics wouldn't get overtaken?
Yeah, we're trying to create a gap so he can be in front with a 3 seconds penalty, and even after the safety car restart, he got in front so he can attack quickly Jess and Jordan. And when I saw the opportunity, of course, I tried to take advantage, and we both go in front and get in the podium. So it was a team job in both stages.
Oh, fair enough. And it seemed to work very well for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, we'll move on to third place, Energetics. I think
Evening.
the burning question everybody has, and especially for Stappen and I, what was that qualifying? Because you just did like 6 laps on the softs and didn't even use any ERS. What was that all about?
Yeah, I wasn't quite confident with the setup I had, so I needed to test the temperature of the tires on a fuel, heavy fuel. And I did quali before in a practice session, and I was like 38s, not quicker than that. So I needed to find confidence for the race and just focus on the race and um, driving my own race to just try and not cause any incidents and stuff.
All right.
That's why I didn't went for quali because I didn't feel for it because my setup was really unstable on low fuel.
All right, fair enough. That's what we kind of figured is that you guys or that you were just kind of testing the waters on the sauce and making sure that your setup was okay. Verstappen, any questions?
Yeah. Well, congratulations, and I don't think we can say much about the strategy because it did pay off in the end. So congratulations on that. Um, I don't know. I guess where did she get the penalty? Because there's not that many places to cut. Maybe apart from turn 1, 2, and 3. It's like very easy to run wide there, I guess. But where did she get the warnings?
I think I got two in turn two, and the third one it was. Let me think. Uh, I think at the end of the second strike, I just went just too wide, like millimeters work.
Yeah,
And it was just a bummer because I was already quickly on two warnings, and then the third came. Fuck, like shit.
yeah,
It was just trying to help Harris getting getting the best position he had because he pitted the lap before the safety car. So I was trying to help him to be a bus, like I'm always every day. But cleanly, I want to. I really want to let people know that I really want to race cleanly, and I really look out for the red dots behind me and beside me.
hmm yeah. You definitely showed that today. Yeah, I'm gonna say all the moves you made seemed to be clean as much as I could see. So no complaints there, and congratulations on the podium.
Yeah, I've got one complaint in my opinion. Like I bounced off the curb in the last lap to Jordan. I tried to give him space and bounced off the curb on the inside, and then tried to give him space immediately after. So I hope he doesn't get mad at that. But I didn't have DM from him yet. I had a DM from Connor that I'm why I'm parking the bus that much. Um,
No, I
I was
think your
just trying.
profession. Yeah, your
Yeah,
profession shows that.
I just I just wanted to help my team. I get the positions back he lost in the pit lane, and like I had old hearts from lap 4. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
just I was just trying to drive my own race, not um, thinking about overtaking T-Brum because he was just in a league of his own. Um, didn't even think about after the safety car when I was P2 to focus on T-Brum, but on Connor on the exit. Yeah, and just try to drive my own race. And I did. I probably did.
Fair enough.
And again, old school with another point.
2 points actually. So
2 points, yeah.
very congrats to him as well.
Alrighty. Any last comments from our podium finishers before we wrap things up?
Congratulations, Deepram. And I knew this is a track for you because you really said, yeah, downforce is my specialty. And you showed it today. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so we're gonna wrap things up. Thanks for watching. I think we had about 15, 16 people at the most, I think is what I saw come up at the top corner of my screen. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Division 2 was also on at the same time as us. So you can go ahead and watch that back once their stream ends and the video uploads to YouTube. You can also watch this one back, as well as Division 1 and Division 3, which were about 2, maybe 3 hours before this. So next week we are heading to
That'd be Silverstone.
Britain. The
Britain? Oh, I love that track.
first ever Grand Prix was at Britain. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Home race for a lot of our drivers here in League of Europe. It has been my pleasure to bring you this race around Singapore in the nighttime. I'm QVR Maverick. That was QVR Verstappen alongside. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Take care, everyone.